Sorry?
You said there was 3
Oh, yes,
elements.
sorry. So the second one is, what did I say, professional,
Yep.
and then relational. So this is another big one that's controversial, I guess. It used to be that men or moms and dads would tell their daughters, don't bring home any man who doesn't have a job, right, or isn't going somewhere, let's say. That's, of course, not done anymore because you're supposed to take care of yourself. You don't need a man to take care of you. So there are a lot of women who are getting with men who are who haven't found their professional footing, let's say. Let's put it that way. Or they're going to bank on the fact that they will find it someday. And you just basically don't want to marry him. Here's something that's really interesting. They took a poll of Americans, and 71% of American adults believe that it's important for a man to be able to provide for his family. Guess how many think a woman should be able to, or should do it?
50?
32.
Okay.
71 to 32. Now, that says to me that we know instinctively that women become vulnerable when they have a child, and that they're going to need support, both emotional and financial, for X period of time. And that is in part why we need men to embrace their providing and protecting desire. And women aren't sort of expected to be the providers, because do we really want women to get pregnant, carry that baby for 9 months, give birth, breastfeed, go through all of that, and by the way, get back to work? You should be working too while you're doing that. I mean, nobody really thinks that's a good idea. That just why not just do that too? It isn't natural. And if you're experiencing it, when you really do experience it and you look at it, you're like, how could I ask her to go do this right now? She's very busy, and she's very tired, and she's depleted, and she has an appendage hanging from her that needs her. And so I think we know that instinctually, and I think that's the reason for that gap.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because I wonder how many women are allowing themselves to pick up the slack of mate choices where they thought, well, I'm independent already, so financially maybe I'm going to pay a little bit less attention to his future prospects in this way. The top quintile, so the top 20% of female earners and the bottom 40% of male earners are mating with the woman as the primary breadwinner. So the top 20% of women are mating down socioeconomically, and the bottom 40% of men are mating up socioeconomically. That's a big chunk. That's a lot.
It's a lot
that's going on. So yeah, I wonder how many women are basically picking up the slack, which creates this self-reinforcing loop of need to work harder in order to be able to provide me the size and amount of freedom that I think that I need in order to be able to get a family off the ground, without realizing that it kind of is a trap. It's
a trap. They're locking themselves in. And then, it's true that we have a big problem with men not in the world in the way they used to be in producing, and that's a subject of its own. But there's a lot that women are doing to themselves. And again, I don't fault them. They were tutored to do this. They were schooled to live this life. It's just that's why when they reach out to me, they're like, why didn't anybody tell me about this?
It's hard to understand, make the argument, you should be less financially independent. I know. In what world does less financial independence make sense?
Because that's not the right framing. The framing is, what do you want? Why are we here? What's the most important thing in life? What do you really want in your life? What do you want your life to look like? What do you foresee your daily life to be like when you're 35, 40, 45? Like, what kind of relationship do you want with your family? What are your interests in work? Like, you have to sort of pan out and decide what's the most important thing to you at the end of the day. And I believe, and maybe this is just a parenting thing, because I do think a lot of this is really about parenting. I do. I think that the culture can be the culture, but if parents were stronger in their opposing messages, that it would be, I feel like that's our best hope, is through parenting, because it's very hard to change the culture. is teaching what really matters and why we're here. And is it really so that you can be as rich as you want?
Mean by that, a 3-hour maximum? Well, what I meant by it was exactly what I said, and I really don't want to backpedal. You know, the first thing that I thought when I saw that headline was like, wow, that would never have been written about a man. Nobody would ever have written that about my husband. The important thing is that I bring a level of honesty to everything I say, because when you work Monday through Friday, the idea that you've got this entirely free weekend to just be with your kids and orientate your whole world around your children is just not a reality.